It was a cold day in March 1906 when it all happened. We all know the story. The Old North dorm's heat had been turned off. It was spring vacation, but Doc Scheidler and Dwight Douglas were on campus and needed a warm place to meet to discuss the outline of the Constitution for the new non-fraternity association they had organized with Bordale and Boyd just 10 days earlier. They found their way to the old main building. All the doors on the main hallway were locked until they got to the office of Dean Hepburn. Looking into the dean's desk for some scratch paper, Douglas uncovered a box of cigars, placing a couple in his vest pocket and one in his mouth, and lit up, leaned back in the dean's chair, put his feet up, and said, "Well, Doc, let's see what we have." After a few minutes, the dean walked in and surprised Scheidler and Douglas, asking what they were doing in his office. When they explained what they were doing, he told them that was exactly the way his fraternity, Beta Theta Pi, had been founded, and wished them well. Here we are, an enduring brotherhood, sparked by a small act of rebellion. Happy Founders Day, brothers.
Close beside Cuyahoga's water, stream of amber hue.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out to watch this. If you're just checking it out live, here we are after the Zoom call. Great to see everybody that came out to participate in the little cocktail social hour we just had. For our 83rd Founders Day celebration. Unfortunately, we couldn't be in person together again this year. Really missed that and would love to get together with everyone, of course. But next year, I hope, fingers crossed, we can actually make that happen or even sooner. So thanks so much, though, for checking this out in our virtual presentation here this year. We wanted to at least get something out. With some updates and news going on and something that sort of related to kind of what we normally would do at the Founders Day banquet. So here we are, 83 years, crazy to think about. 115 years of our fraternity nationally, which is amazing. So sit back, enjoy, keep sipping on cocktail, coffee, water, whatever you got. And let's have an awesome time celebrating our chapter. We're going to start it off with the fireside song that the Active Chapter rendition that they did back at the 75th anniversary in 2015. So here we go.
We gather round the fireside bright in bonds of brotherhood tonight, and lift our voices lustily to sing of our fraternity. Long may she live, and may there be true fellowship, eternity. Once more we pledge our loyalty, Phi Kappa Tau fraternity. Our circle changes with each year, the brothers come and disappear, but still the fire is gleaming bright upon the chapter heart tonight. Remember that the mighty throng of brothers long since absent gone retain their love and loyalty to our beloved fraternity.
All right, and we're back. Hope you enjoyed the fireside song. Obviously, we're skipping dinner this year, so we're going to move right into recognition, which is a big part of our celebration, recognizing all the different facets of people that have made this chapter amazing over the 83 years. So course, starting with the alumni and active members that helped get this presentation together tonight. Thank you so much for doing this, and this is a whole new experience for us, so hope it turns out well, which I know it has. So thank you. Of course, to every one of our brothers that have entered Chapter Eternal here over the last 2 years, quick moment of silence for those brothers. Thank you. Everyone who has helped supported the chapter in other ways, to include all the past dream girls and sweethearts of the chapter, past and present. That's a tremendous support to the active chapter, not just to the members, but of course representing our chapter out and about in the community and the university as well. So thank you to all who see this. Of course, the past and current chapter presidents, who are the figurehead and the leaders of the active chapter and who have done an amazing job getting us to where we are here today. Thank you, of course. All the past and current volunteers, of course, the alumni volunteers, brothers and non-brothers that have helped us out, whether it be on the home holding board, the Board of Governors, or the Alumni Council. Can't have a successful chapter without those volunteers and the time and effort they put into making sure things are running smooth and well with the house, or supporting and advising the chapter, or helping with the alumni events and communication and that side of things. It's a big help, and can't say enough how important it is to the success of a chapter. It's very hard to have a successful chapter without those alumni and friends that have helped us in all the various ways. Thank you so much. All right. Now we are moving on to the last piece of recognition. We always like to honor the years that people were initiated and those anniversaries. So we have the 75th, 50th, and 25th years, which normally we will be handing out certificates and little pins that we get from the national office, but I'll have to wait till next year to do that. So I wanted to at least recognize these brothers, though, for the last 2 years, this year and last year, for the 75th anniversaries, which you can see here for 1945. Then we have 1946, big class there. Now for the 50th anniversary initiates, we have 1970s classes, and then for this year's 1971 initiates, those brothers. And then finally, we have the 25th anniversary initiates from last year. And then as well as this year. So congrats to all those brothers on these different achievements and milestones here for time in the chapter and being an alumni. So look forward again to presenting those certificates and pins next year in person. All right, and now a quick word from our current home holding president, Brother Chad Warwick.
Greetings, brothers. My name is Chad Warwick, and I serve as the president of Akron Fraternal Homeholding here at the University of Akron. I'm disappointed that we aren't able to meet in person this year, but I would like to first wish everyone a happy Founders Day as we celebrate our 83rd year here at the University of Akron as the Alpha Phi Chapter. As president of Akron Fraternal Homeholding, there have been a lot of changes over the past 2 years since both Drew and I have taken over leadership of the organization. Unfortunately, COVID has definitely sprung a lot of difficulties on Akron Fraternal Homeholding over the past year and a half as we've navigated how we handle the facility and who's living in the facility as well. Some good news that we are happy to report is that we have secured a $15,000 loan from our national organization that will go specifically toward improvements to the house around the kitchen, and then also will be installing a new furnace for the upstairs area of the facility. As we start to roll into the summer, Really, the only update and opportunity that I wanted to share with our alumni and the active chapter is that we'll be hosting a meeting on May 3rd at 7 p.m. through Zoom to further discuss initiatives that we're hoping to work on over the next year and throughout the summer. I invite any alumni that is interested in participating in this meeting to join us, as Mike Wine has provided the Zoom information through email so that all alumni and active members are able to participate in the conversation. Additionally, I welcome any help and support for folks that are interested in joining us on home holding, whether that is through leadership or if there are particular skills that you possess that could help better and improve the facility as we move into a new year with the facility and with the active membership. I would like to thank everyone in advance for all your help and support, and look forward to celebrating our 84th Founders Day at Akron next year in person. Hoorah!
All right. So, hey, thanks, Chad. This is Mike Wine, president of the Alumni Council, the MC here for the event tonight. So just want to touch on a couple Alumni Council pieces. If you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, there it is right there, Akron Phi Kappa Alumni. Definitely join that. It's a great place for info and news and events coming up. So we'll have as many brothers connected to that as possible. YouTube channel, obviously, if you're watching that right now, this is what it is. So then our email, the Gmail account there that we send out stuff and you probably get stuff from. Make sure to whitelist that so it doesn't lose any emails. Some upcoming events, hopefully. We'll have the Zips football home opener. Been obviously 2 years since we've done that, so I'd love to be able to do one of those again. If not the home opener, then one of the Zips games. Then, of course, the annual Thanksgiving dinner that the chapter does an amazing job putting on the night before Thanksgiving. Always a great event for everyone to come to that. And then the next year's Founders Day celebration in person. It'll be a long, long time overdue. So can't wait for that, to get everybody back for a Founders Day and really do it up right for that. So I just wanted to touch on alumni dues and donations. I can't thank everybody enough for all the past donations we've received to help the Alumni Council and all the events and stuff that we do. One piece of that is flowers for brothers and their family members that pass away that we hear about. We try to get flowers out to the services for those. And then putting on events at little or no cost has been supported through doing dues and donations in the past, especially about 2 years ago. We threw a big memorial party at no cost for Brother John Maurer up at the chapter house. So stuff like that, and just helping bigger events defray those costs for everyone. So that's our PayPal. You can use to always send anything donation-wise over to us. It's a big help, and can't say enough how much it's helped us grow and put on first-class, top-quality events, which is our goal. So thank you, of course. And then lastly, just wanted to touch on, I will be having a planning meeting here in the next month or so. Obviously, we have the home holding meeting coming up May 3rd. So it'll be a few weeks or a month after that to help with future ideas and planning for the alumni side or alumni council side of things. Such things as the social media pages we have and the website. Hopefully getting a website up and running again. We used to have one. Brother Bob Perrin did an awesome job getting that up and worked, and unfortunately we don't have that anymore. So that would be a great place to house all the history we have, especially. So love to get something like that up and going. Our alumni database that we have, the contact info, we did a big update to it about 12 years ago. And since then, it's just kind of been here and there as we get info from brothers that we still have contact info for, but love to do another big push for that. Photo collections. I have a lot of photos, and a lot of people, other brothers have photos. That we can consolidate that and, into, if that's the website or something. That's another project I'd love to preserve the history of our chapter and brothers, family, friends, all that. And then the Phi Talker newsletter. We used to do a newsletter a couple times a year. That was another great way to get info out about the chapter and alumni news and updates, what's going on with people's families, anything that was going on chapter related. That's another thing that's been pushed back and not be able to support that project as well. Would love to get that up and running since it was so well received by everyone. And then future events, getting back into doing more events. Hopefully, kind of slimmed it down over the last few years, just mainly doing Founders Day and then maybe a tailgate party here and there. But love to get back into doing more events. We used to do reverse raffles, golf outings, along with the Founders Day and tailgate parties, of course. But that's just been another thing that's been kind of just decreased here over the last few years. I'd love to get that side of things up and moving towards more events and things as well. So look out for info on that when the date and time will be. I'll get the info out plenty of time to let everybody know and give plenty of notice. So appreciate all the help and support that everyone has given in the past, and can help and provide in any way is great. Any little way, whether it be one specific event or just one piece of projects we want to get moving, it's greatly supported. So thank you. And that is pretty much all I have as far as the Alumni Council portion.
All right, next up is the active chapter portion of the presentation here. Brother Jack Curley, who is the current active chapter president, is going to be just saying a few words about the latest with the chapter and what they've been up to, as well as all the active chapter awards. So take it away, Jack.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I know this format probably isn't what anyone wanted, but when times are tough, we make do, and this is the best that we could put together. A lot of you probably don't have the first clue who I am, so allow me to introduce myself. My name is John Curley, but most people know me as Jack, and I am the current president of the Alpha Phi chapter of Phi Kappa. I am a second-year mechanical engineering major who joined Fall 19, and my story isn't much different from that of several others. I walked by the Phi Tau table at Nuru weekend, picked up a recruitment schedule, came to an event, and found a place that felt a lot like home. And then I guess from there, the rest is history, as you would say. But that's enough about me. I'm here to give y'all some chapter updates. I'd just like to preface this by saying that the world has been in an absolute tailspin this past year, but we're doing our best not to let that bring us down. One of the first things you'll notice that you can actually see that we did is that we painted the first floor of the chapter room during the initial lockdown period. We just came here in small groups of guys, kept it safe, and knocked it out real quick. Aside from that, we have secured loans to work on the kitchen and the chapter room floor primarily. However, there's other stuff we have planned. That being said, we are always accepting donations for the house and to work on the house. And the easiest way to do that would be to Venmo our treasurer at Max Lindeman, spelled MaxLindeman. Another thing I'd like to talk about is that we've been more involved in other chapters' philanthropies as of late. The most shining example we have of that is that we raised almost $5,000 for Fiji's Bark Madness, in no small part thanks to you alumni. So thank you very much for helping us with that. The last thing I'd like to discuss in the updates is that we've been able to keep COVID cases at an absolute minimum within the chapter. We've only had one confirmed case, and he got on it very quickly, isolated, and made sure no other brothers got sick, even though he does live in a off-campus house full of other brothers. So big thank you to Jordan for being smart and responsible. Lastly, I'd just like to thank every one of you for your continued support of this chapter. Whether you've been a Phi Tau for 1 year or 50, we are brothers now and ever until the day we die. Hoorah.
For our yearly awards. For our first one, we're going to be doing Associate of the Year. And introducing is going to be myself, Max Lindeman. I'm the treasurer here at Phi Kappa. And I rushed in Fall 19. And this award is for the associate that best embodies the values of our chapter and the type of man that we look to create here. And that person has been, literally ever since they walked up to the house and introduced themselves, they've been a great friend to myself personally and many others in the chapter. And they've been so helpful to us, and even as an active now, they've stepped up. So obviously they're very deserving of this award and are going to continue. So hopefully they'll be active of the year in the near future. So that member is Andrew Gianni. Thank you. And for the awards, we will be having them. They're getting made right now, but we're going to be shipping them out in the coming weeks. So thank you.
Now on to the Active of the Year award. I'll be stepping in for Max here because he's actually been nominated for this award. But without further ado, the Active of the Year award is given to the brother who best demonstrates our founding principles and commits himself to the true definition of brotherhood. And the person receiving this award will be Ben Collins. Ben embodies everything a Phi Tau should be. He is kind, courteous, thoughtful, and he's always willing to lend an ear to any brother who wants to talk about anything. Aside from that, last year he made an outstanding membership orientation officer, and his role as house manager was a primary reason that this place hasn't fallen apart. All in all, congrats, Ben. You definitely deserve this one.
The Gerald Glinsick Award, which is the award given to the most active alumni, and is because of Jerry Glinsick, or Jerry G as you know him, who was first active as a chapter president and then very active as a chapter advisor and alumni, and many other things that we don't even name here. So first, the person who has gotten this award, they've gotten it because they've been around the chapter helping around fixing up the house and just making sure that it's up to standards, and also helping with advice regarding how we operate our chapter and with COVID rules and everything else that's been going on in this crazy semester. And that alumni is Dave Dombrowski, a current chapter advisor. Thank you.
All right, up next to present the H-Autograph Award, the Harmon Autograph Award for Most Outstanding Graduating Senior for this year and last year. Past recipient of the award, Brother J.B. McCullough.
We are here to celebrate the legacy that the Alpha Phi chapter of Phi Kappa Tau has had here at the University of Akron. The award honors the faculty advisor Harmon Autograph, or Doc, as he was known to the brothers, who served in his role as advisor for 36 years. This chapter may not be where it is today without his support and guidance, especially in the 1930s. In 1936 of our local chapter, Sigma Beta Nu, it was experiencing a low point of growth, which was common amongst many fraternities at the time. An idea arose to him that the affiliation with a national fraternity could be the solution to the chapter's dilemma. He immediately confronted the brothers of Sigma Beta Nu with his proposal. As H. Autograph and the brothers of Sigma Beta Nu initiated a search for the national organization, they looked for fraternities with similar names and started to survey many organizations. A combination of circumstances affected the chapter's decision to affiliate with Phi Kappa Tau. Past presidents, including Ewing T. Boyles, lent their help to the project. Sigma Beta Nu petitioned for a Phi Kappa Tau charter in 1937, and on February 20th, 1938, the installation of the Alpha Phi chapter of Phi Kappa Tau fraternity occurred at the Mayflower Hotel in Akron. Harmon Autograph led this chapter from being a local chapter to becoming the Alpha Phi chapter of Phi Kappa Tau, and his work did not stop there. Doc seldom missed an active chapter meeting where he delivered his words for the good of the chapter. A man's character and brother were favorite themes. Keep your chin up, your eyes clear, your faith in God, yourself, and each other was standard advice to a troubled Phi Tau who sought Doc's counsel. In later years, Doc's dedication to the fraternity was demonstrated by his continued insistence on attending chapter meals and meetings, even though by then he could barely walk. It was a familiar sight during his last years to see Doc in his suit, with his watch chain and Phi Beta Kappa keychain hanging from his vest, which currently resides in the Heritage Room at the Phi Kappa Tau executive offices in Oxford. Being carried by the brothers up the front of the steps at the old house on 40 East Bookdale, H.O. DeGraff died in 1967. As a memorial and to honor those values that Doc strived to encourage, the H.O. DeGraff Award was established in 1966. Each year, the 3 immediate past recipients select a graduating senior who must emulate the ideals of character and brotherhood that Harmon DeGraff espoused and represented. This year and last year, with the times being as they are, and we're unable to meet in person, we feel the sting of not being able to see our brothers in person. But it gives me the distinct honor of not just honoring one person, but 2. The 2020 recipient and 2021 recipient of the H.O. DeGraff Award are both exceptional young men that spent their years of college reaching out and touching the community with their presence, as they supported not only the brothers of the chapter, but the people of the community. They each devoted countless hours to their studies, extracurriculars, enriching their brotherly bonds, and working diligently and dedicated on their jobs in the chapter house and out in the community. Each strove for excellence. They strove to shine the values that this fraternity embodies. And I had the distinct pleasure of sharing a house with both of them at the same time. They are both men that have brought countless hours of joy to my life and to those around them. I know that they are out there doing great things. I haven't been able to see them as much as I wish I could. But they are both men of different paths who have reached great things in college, and I look forward to seeing what they will bring forth in the future. Before announcing them, I would like to dedicate just a quick moment to recognize all those who have received the award in the past. Among them are myself, Zach Fuller, Michael Shanuti, and many, many more. The 2020 H.O. DeGraff recipient was Gabe Fuller. Unfortunately, we weren't able to congratulate him then, so let's congratulate him now. And our 2021 recipient is Colby Ellis. Congratulations, both of you.
All right, hey, congrats to all the award winners from this year as well as last year. Definitely well deserved. And if you're wondering about the Racy Bliss presentation, which we would normally do at the end of the banquet, we will be holding that until next year when we can all meet again in person and really celebrate that the way it should be. So look forward to that here next year. Definitely want to thank you again for taking the time to watch this, whether it's live or checking it out a few days afterwards. It means a lot to us as a first time kind of doing this. And I just wanted to get out something, as far as updates and news and something somewhat related to our normal Founders Day banquet. Obviously not the same as being in person. I cannot wait till we can get together again, whether it be Founders Day or a tailgate before that or something. I know it's been long overdue, and being social and being together and being active together is something that we all miss and want to be a part of here, obviously, again. And what makes our fraternity and our bond so strong is the brotherhood and getting everyone together and all that. So obviously can't wait to do that in a big scale here very soon. So thank you so much again. Hope you liked it. Feel free to leave any feedback or comments. Let us know. You can email me, call me, whatever you'd like. Appreciate the help, the support going forward here for this year. And now we will turn it over, as we always close out Founders Day, with the Candlelight Ceremony from a few years ago that is led by Brother Chad Warwick. So enjoy. Thank you. Good night.
This evening, we close the successful Founders Day celebration by celebrating the birth of an organization. The birth of an experience which began just over 112 years ago on a cold March day in 1906. On that day, a group of courageous and determined young men gathered to share a belief in themselves. to share a vision and to share the experience of true fraternity. Now, over 112 years after the founding of Phi Kappa Tau, we're confident that those early pioneers would each be enthusiastic about your presence here tonight. Those men, our founders, were not myths. Indeed, they were flesh and blood. And in those early hours of the birth of our great fraternity, they were also students. Just as some of you are with us tonight. There happens to be an old Welsh proverb which says, "He that would be a leader must first build a bridge." He that would be a leader must first build a bridge. Our founders have little way of knowing that they were building a bridge. Many of the alumni in this room tonight may not realize that you too have been builders of bridges. Each member of the Alpha Phi chapter has done his part in helping to ensure that we are still sitting here tonight. It is also important to remind ourselves, to remind our current undergraduate brothers, that they also have the opportunity to be builders of important bridges. Bridges for those who will seek the experience of fraternity at the University of Akron in months and years to come. It seems to me it is our job, both yours and mine, to make certain the bridges we build are sturdy, sound, and able to withstand the test of time. I ask that the lights in the room be extinguished. I am pleased to escort you through our Candlelight Ceremony, which has now become a meaningful tradition in Phi Kappa Tau. First begun by our brotherhood in 1975 at our convention in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, and witnessed for the first time and last time by our last living founder, Taylor Albert Borodale. I invite the four designated brothers to come forward at this time. And that's Rob McCarthy, Zach Fuller, Bob Gandy, and also Drew Burton. So if y'all can come forward. Tonight, these men represent the four honored founders of this fraternity. Gentlemen, yours is an important responsibility this night. Upon you rests the task of carrying forward the founders' original spark of brotherhood. Of Dwight I. Douglas, class of 1906, William H. Scheidler, class of 1907, Clinton D. Boyd, class of 1908, and Taylor Albert Borodale, class of 1908. Each would be genuinely proud to share this moment with our brothers and associates and friends here this evening. Phi Kappa Tau is committed to developing values, character, and good citizens. Those four men and their associates also made a commitment to those same virtues. Now I invite Rob McCarthy, representing Founder Douglas, to take light from the single candle to my right that was lit by our HO DeGraff winners. Founder Douglas was the oldest of our founders. He presided over the first meeting on March 17, 1906, just as he was completing his final year at Miami. Douglas died in 1940, and his death took from us the first of our four founders. Now I invite Zach Fuller, representing Founder Scheidler, to take light from the single candles to the right. Founder Scheidler was the intellectual of the founding group. He entered Miami in 1904 and graduated in 3 years, returning to Miami with a PhD from Cornell University in 1910. He taught geology for 47 years, a record still standing. He died in 1958. Now I invite Bob Gandy, representing Founder Boyd, to take the light from our candles to the right. Founder Boyd came to Miami in 1904. With Scheidler, he helped organize the unaffiliated members of the student body. He helped initiate his son in 1948 at Alpha Chapter and was killed in an automobile accident in 1950. And last, I would like to invite Drew Burton, representing Founder Borodale, to light his candle. Founder Borodale came to Miami in the fall of 1904 to study science. As a student, he possessed remarkable organizational abilities and earned the nickname Boss. At his death at the age of 92 in 1977, Founder Borodale had lived almost 20 years longer than any other founder. He thus became the fourth and last founder to live only in our memories. Because Phi Kappa Tau has touched the lives in the four corners of this land, and indeed in the four corners of our world, it is fitting to ask these brothers who represent our founders to now take their light to the four corners of this room. Now I invite each brother and associate member with us this evening to rise and receive the spark of brotherhood from these brothers who tonight are creating the bridge from the spirit of our founders. When you have received your light, please form a circle of brotherhood around the room. For those men and women with us this evening who are not members of our fraternity, we are so very glad you could join us to observe a symbol of what this fraternity stands for, believes in, and cherishes. I offer each of you this story, penned not by a member of our fraternity, but certainly someone who had the experience of true brotherhood uppermost in his mind. An old man going alone highway came at the evening cold and gray to a chasm vast and deep and wide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen stream had no fear for him. But he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you are wasting your strength with building here. Your journey soon will end with the close of day. You never again will pass this way. You crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you a bridge at evening tide? Good friend, in the path I have come, he said, there followeth after me today a young man whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that has been not to me, to that fair-haired who made pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. So good friend, I am building this bridge for him. I am building this bridge for him. With these words, we give pause to what we are about. We now have the task to make certain that we continue to build bridges for those yet to come, for those whom we may never meet, but knowing they will be better from our having been here today. We continue to grow generation by generation. Now it is fitting that we conclude with our brotherhood song. We are brothers until the day we die. And when that time comes around, and we bid our last goodbye, there is one thing sure and certain. Let us bow our heads in awe. We'll meet again in Asheville in the name of Phi Kappa Tau.
Hip 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 hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Until we meet again, may May the spirit of fraternity continue to be important to each of us. Thanks to each of you for joining us this evening. You all are forever a part of this history, of this special gathering, and of our fraternity. Godspeed and travel well.